So we're going to look at the multiplicative property of equality with integers. So because we've been doing the same property with lots of different types of numbers, so it still works the same way. We're just going to deal this time with positive and negative numbers as well. So in all of these problems, all we're really doing is we're solving, and what we're doing is actually what's called a one-step equation. So we're solving an equation, and the reason it's called a one-step equation is because I only have to do one thing to solve it. So the first one we're going to look at here is negative 2x equals negative 28. So again, to solve the equation, you want to find the variable. So the variable is x. And then you want to look to see what is happening along with the x. So in this case, x is being multiplied by negative 2. So to get the x alone, I would have to divide both sides by negative 2. So because it was being multiplied, we have to do the opposite operation. So we're going to divide by negative 2 on the left-hand side, and whatever I do to the left-hand side of the equation, I also have to do to the right-hand side. So on the left-hand side, the negative 2's cancel, and I'm left with x. And on the right-hand side, if I do negative 28 divided by negative 2, that gives me a positive 14. So let's try another one here. We'll try another one or two. So maybe we have something like negative 34 equals negative w divided by 3. Okay, so on this side, right? So we're dividing by 3, and there's also a negative. So I want to get the w all by itself. So I need to multiply both sides by a negative to get rid of the negative, and I need to multiply by 3 to get rid of the 3. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to rewrite this so that you can see it clearly. So I'm going to multiply the right-hand side by negative 3, and I'm going to multiply the left-hand side by negative 3. So when I multiply on the right-hand side here, the 3's cancel and the negative parts cancel. So I'm just left with w, which is good. That's what I wanted. And then on the other side, I need to multiply negative 3 times negative 34. And negative times negative is a positive, so it's going to be a positive 102. And remember, I haven't been always checking, but remember, you always can check these problems, right? So if you were like, I'm not sure if I did that right. So remember, we're looking to see, is negative 34 equal to negative 102 divided by 3? And if you take 102 and you divide it by 3, you get 34, and you still have that negative. So is negative 34 equal to negative 34? Yeah, it definitely is. All right, so let's try one more here. So maybe I have y divided by 5 equals negative 21. So again, I want to get my y all by itself. It's being divided by 5. So to get it by itself, I'm going to need to multiply by 5. So I'm going to rewrite it just so that I have the room. You don't have to do that. So I'm going to multiply this side by 5, which means I'm also going to multiply this side by 5. So on the left-hand side, the 5's cancel, and we're left with y. And on the right-hand side, I have negative 21 times 5, which would give me a negative 105. So again, the key to solving these equations is to really just see what is happening with the variable and then do the opposite operation.